Before we get going too far, we would like to have you please stand as the Highland Park Air Force ROTC presents the colors.
Forward. March. Colors. Halt. Right. Hey. Raise them. Arms.
I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Order. Arms. Right. Hey. Forward. March.
Thank you, cadets, for your participation tonight. This is one of the highlights of the year for Topeka Public Schools as we have the opportunity to recognize our 2019 distinguished staff. These individuals were nominated by their peers throughout the district and selected by a committee of their peers. At this time, we would like any members of the nomination committee to please stand to be recognized. The Distinguished Staff Award is considered the highest honor that a Topeka Public Schools staff member can receive. Those being recognized tonight were judged based on certain criteria, including their experience, their evidence of effectiveness, their community involvement, and their interest in the profession. As I said, this is the 30th year that we have recognized staff with this honor. And if there are any former Distinguished Staff Award winners here tonight, would you please stand to be recognized? We'd like to give a big thank you to French Middle School Principal Ms. Hoffman for helping get the building ready for us and letting us use it. Their building operator, Brian Apodaca, as well as our food service team who helped with the food this evening. So thank you all for making this night possible. And at this time, I would like to introduce to you our board president, Dr. Michael Morrison.
Well, like I told the LEAP Awards, I have some good news and some bad news. The bad news was for me, I have to do a speech, which I didn't know about. And the good news is that my speech will be very short since I haven't had time to do anything about it. But my job first is to introduce other board members. And here tonight is Dr. Scott Mickelson. Dr. Peg McCarthy. Ms. Nancy Kirk. And who couldn't be with us are Reverend John Williams, Ms. Janelle Johnson, and Mr. Patrick Woods. And they all told me they very much wanted to be here, but had other activities. So, my speech will be congratulations to all of you. I can't think of an award that's better than having somebody in your peer group select you as outstanding. So, think about that. Look across the table. Thank the people that you're with, and congratulations again.
As we get ready to move into the awards portion of tonight's ceremony, I just want to give you a quick preview of what you can expect. So we will announce the honoree in each category. There are 14 different categories that staff can be recognized in for distinguished staff. We have created a highlight video for each staff. We were having a little technical difficulties, so fingers crossed it works okay when we get to that point. And then after their video plays, we will have the honoree, as well as their supervisor or building principal, whoever's here with them tonight, come up on stage so they can receive their award. No one has to speak. You can just come up and take some pictures. So we'll have you come up, and Dr. Morrison will help give those awards out as well. And with that, I would now like to introduce to you our Superintendent of Schools, Dr. Tiffany Anderson.
Good evening. My comments will be brief because we know we are here to recognize staff, to celebrate staff, and to acknowledge our staff. First of all, I want to thank all the families and the friends that are in this space, because we know that we can only do what we do is when we have the kind of support that you give every day to every staff member here. I do want to acknowledge our leadership team members who are also here this evening. Will leadership team members please stand? We have Mr. Larry Robbins, our Deputy Superintendent, Ms. Wallace, the Assistant Superintendent, and Ms. Kruger is getting an award this evening. And talk about distinguished staff. She also has to run the event. Talk about distinguished staff. And so let's give them an applause as well for doing that kind of work. Particularly Ms. Kruger. I just thought, wow, juggling that, getting the award, the video, and all the other things. And so this is an example, her work is an example of what we know each of you distinguished staff winners do all the time. Doesn't matter what's going on in the building or what you have late at night, you give your all. And because of that, we are distinguished districts. The excellence that we provide students can only happen if we have staff that really commits all that they have to make sure that students excel, and you do that. So I just want to say thank you. Thank you so much for your dedication, the tireless effort, the continued love that you pour out to our students. Just moments ago when we were having technical difficulty, I said, don't worry, in church when this happens, and goodness bless us, if the sound system breaks, then we just come in the front and we call people up to just come speak, preach, do whatever, so it'll be fine. And they were like, oh my God. And right up front at one of our distinguished staff members' tables, it's one of our science winner, one of her family members, who I take it is a staff member, retired staff member. Sir, what is your name? What's your last name? Mike Patzer. When did you retire? He retired 3 years ago and said, oh, was it from technology? He said, you have a technology problem? That's all right. I'm still here working for you. He jumped on stage, and we have audio and video because of Mike's work this evening. Talk about distinguished staff. That kind of support and love, no matter what space you're in, is what makes a difference and sets us apart. So again, we thank you this evening for all that you give. I do want to mention our board members that aren't here this evening. Some have children, and so their children are in events this evening, and some have other events that are also district related that they're at. I myself, in about 40 minutes, am speaking at the Juvenile Detention Center to all the volunteers who supported our children that have made poor choices. And so the many volunteers across Shawnee County, that event is at the same time. It started at 6. Isn't that something? So when I accepted the speaking engagement a year ago, I didn't even connect dates. So if I leave a little bit early, charge it to my schedule, but not to my heart. So again, congratulations, and we want to say thank you for all that you do.
defends, if necessary, the district, and in the way that she promotes the district. She is always on duty, you might say. Misty's, all of her interactions are always very positive. Okay, she's the type of person who has never met a stranger. She is very outgoing, very friendly, very engaging. Whether she's talking with a student as young as pre-K, or talking to one of our adult staff members. Misty's always available. And no matter whether she is here at work in the office or at home, if there is a communication or PR issue or problem that needs to be addressed, Misty is always there to do it. Misty is deserving of the Distinguished Staff Award because of what she brings to her position. She is the ultimate professional, extremely dedicated, always looking for ways that she can improve upon the communication arena in the district, ways that she can improve upon public relations, ways that from a advertising and image standpoint, that we are portrayed in the most positive light.
I bit the bullet for the rest of you and went first so that you could see how to do it. And just so you know, I purposely did not watch my own video just so I would be in the same boat as all of you not knowing what was coming. So here we go. Our next honoree also does need to scoot out a little early because his daughter has her kindergarten music program tonight. So again, if you see him leaving, he didn't just come take his award and go. He needs to be somewhere too. So with that, we would like to congratulate our next award winner, Jeremy Lidoff from the Topeka Public Schools Police Department.
The way that Jeremy goes above and beyond on a daily basis, a lot starts with his attitude. He has an amazing attitude for the job that he does. He's always pleasant, he's very optimistic and upbeat, very easy to work with, follows direction, works proactively to do a lot of things. For example, he helps put together the police summer camps that we do with middle school children. Recently, he helped a great deal with regard to our new emergency operations plan, getting that out, the desktop reference guides, and getting that out to the staff. But every day, he's just here, ready to go to work and ready to provide assistance within the district. I would tell you, first of all, he comes from good stock. He has amazing parents who have raised him well. He has a very, very supportive and loving family, which I think is part of that foundation of the reason Jeremy is such a good person. He also serves as a minister within our community. And so I think he brings that aspect to school policing that's pretty unique. He's deserving of a Distinguished Staff Award because he's one of the best officers that we have by far. His entire career has been here with Topeka Public Schools to this point. He loves school policing. He does an amazing job as a school police officer, and we are so fortunate and blessed to have him.
If you have a district calendar, you may recognize Jeremy as Mr. September in the district calendar. Our next honoree tonight for the Distinguished Staff Award is our first-year elementary school teacher from Whitson Elementary, Adam Groves.
Adam is definitely deserving of the Distinguished Staff Award for the first-year teacher because he approached this new job, going back to school, with such a positive mindset. And even though going back to school, it has not affected his teaching, even though that can be long hours. So for 2 years, he was one of the paraprofessionals that worked under me. It was at that time that I noticed that Adam had a great gift. And a gift of working with children, building a relationship with children. And when he was approached about starting a stride room here at Whitson Elementary, I still can recall the day that he said, I need to talk to you. So I'm thinking, okay, what's going on? And he said, I think I'm going to go ahead and take that position. The number one thing with Adam is definitely the relationship he builds with the student. And it's each student. He knows their strengths. He knows what they like. And he really works well in getting them to work even though they may not want to. So he's very encouraging. He's very motivating. He's very positive with them as well.
And the Whitson family is very fortunate as Adam's mom and sister both also work at Whitson with him. This year's honoree in the first year secondary teacher category from Highland Park High School is Colleen Kelly.
I think the most unique thing about Miss Kelly is the classroom environment that she creates. When you walk into her room, particularly think of like during the winter time, anytime students will be reading, she would project a fireplace on her Promethean board, and you walk in and just the way that she uses lighting to make it a very relaxing place, a very inviting place to come and do the classwork. I would describe Miss Kelly as just a compassionate person. She's someone who's very dedicated to the profession. She really seeks out involvement from other teachers, trying to get feedback, trying to find new ideas that she can implement in her classroom. I think she's deserving of the Distinguished Staff Award because of just the dedication that she has as a first-year teacher. She's a product of Topeka Public Schools, and it's great to know that she's a graduate of Topeka West. She did her student teaching with Emily Jackson at Topeka West, who was a great mentor towards her. And we're just very proud that she chose to stay in the district that produced her. And she's just been a great fit for our school and a great leader for the students that want the whole department. So we're just very happy for her.
To celebrate her award, the school actually put a hot chocolate bar in her classroom for the week so that all the kids could celebrate with her. So congratulations. This year's winner in the Building Leader category for Topeka Public Schools is Miss Erin McCoy from Capital City High School.
So I would say that Ms. McCoy is very much a hands-on, get involved, not sit in the office. She's hard to catch in the office. She's usually out and about, and really right from the start. She's out talking to staff, interacting with staff. I think her strength for her is relationships with students and staff. She's out talking to kids, meeting staff, kind of no nonsense that, this is what we're going to do and how we're going to improve things. So Dr. Anderson met her and she helped do summer school with us a few years ago. She come back and said, that's the real McCoy. She just, no nonsense, kind of hard-nosed, works hard, is fun and energetic, a good person to be around. She's easy to like, but you can tell along with it that it's no nonsense. We've got a job to do, and we're going to get a job done, and she does that very well. For a person with as limited experience in an administrative role as Ms. McCoy had, she stepped into a relatively difficult situation in the middle of the year when an opportunity was presented to her, and she did an outstanding job. And really, in a lot of ways, the students that she serves and the staff are much better off for her leadership and what she was able to do in a very short amount of time in a situation that not everybody could step into and excel in. And she has just been absolutely outstanding. I'm very proud of Karen and what she's done.
Good when your mom's crying, that's always good.
Well, I should say when Erin actually got nominated, she was at Topeka High, but you'll get enough recognition tonight. We gotta spread some of that out. This year's winner in the Certified Support category from Chase Middle School is Mr. Kevin Hirschberger.
Kevin has been at Chase for 22 years. He started as a math teacher, and he has been a counselor for a very long time, serving our students and our staff. One of the things about Mr. Hirschberger is that he has a pretty small office, which we're going to take care of for next year and get him in a bigger space. But his office, and in the morning and at lunch, is packed with students that seek him out for social interaction, that he leads in a positive way. So not only does Mr. Hirschberger work with students in our community or in our school, he also seeks out opportunities in the greater Topeka area. He volunteers at the mission, at the jail. He provides his students with opportunities to volunteer throughout the year. And so, by him being a volunteer and then sharing that experience and helping students learn what volunteerism is, he helps our whole community. Well, I was surprised in coming back to Chase from Rwanda. He had never received this award because to me he is most deserving.
And this year's winner in the Custodial Award category from McCarter Elementary is Gary Steinbrock.
First word that pops to my mind is that he's very considerate, and he is just really one of the most considerate people I've ever met. Inside the building, I always say he's a good example of never doubt that one person can transform the world, because Gary transformed this building, and it makes a difference for every single employee and every single child that walks through the doors. One of the things that sticks out to me, which he would not want me telling you, but I'm going to tell you because it's my time to brag on Gary. Each year we have 2 book fairs, and last year he realized that some of the students didn't have enough money to buy a book at the book fair, so he has started donating anonymously. Each year we have a book fair so that several students may go in and purchase at least one book from the book fair. I believe Gary is very deserving of a Distinguished Staff Award because I know the effort that he puts in, and I know the job that he does for our building. It is a huge building for one custodian, and I also just see the difference that he's made
Just a quick story, when we went to surprise Gary with his award, they had all the students come out into the hallways, so 300 plus kids. They made signs, and as he was going down the halls, they were, Gary, Gary, Gary. That was really cool. This year's paraprofessional winner from Jardine Elementary in the JAG program, Miss Melissa Kennedy.
Melissa always is very positive and very peppy and has a lot of energy. She likes to joke around. She very easily builds positive relationships with the kids, so they seek her out quite often. Just kind of a bright spot in their day to interact with her, and she's very in tune to their needs and just brings a lot of positivity to our program. Ms. Kennedy is very in tune to our students' needs, and she's kind of gone above and beyond with providing things that they are needing, such as a jacket or a sweatshirt. She constantly is donating to our school store, and anything else that students may need, she is readily available and willing to help in any way that she can. Melissa's very happy, funny, loud, but in a funny way. She likes to joke around. Melissa she works in a pretty high-stress environment, and she just goes above and beyond in her relationships with the kids. They trust her, they seek her out, and she's just kind of one of their constants in their lives. She just is a very large part of our program.
We have somewhere around 600 paraprofessionals in the district, I believe. So to be recognized in the paraprofessional category, that's a huge accomplishment. Our 2019 Distinguished Staff Award winner in the Elementary School Educator category from Whitson Elementary, Miss Judy Greger.
Greger always interacts with students in a positive, calm, just loving and caring manner. She focuses her lessons to really interact and engage students in learning. She really has an attention to what the kids need, why, what drives them in their learning, and she's able to pull that out of them. A teacher who, even after 30 plus years, still gets out of bed every day, coming to work, excited for the day, planning new things, not getting stuck in her ways. Miss Judy Greger is more than deserving of the Distinguished Staff Award because she has devoted 30 plus years to Topeka Public Schools, and not just to our students, but she's also been a huge part in serving the students at Most of Your Heart of Mary. And provides them special ed services. So she juggles both schools, both principals. Kids who sometimes really struggle don't with her. And it's about the kids, and her number one is always we do what we do for the students. And that's been our philosophy at Whitson. And she exemplifies that above and beyond at all times.
So Adam Groves from Whitson won the first year elementary teacher category, and then Ms. Greger is winning the elementary school teacher. Ms. Greger was actually Adam's mentor teacher throughout this process, so very exciting for them to be able to share that award and honor in the same year. This year's Middle School Educator Award honoree from Robinson Middle School is Miss Deborah Stewart.
Miss Stewart has been our reading interventionist for the past 5 years, and she's one of those people who just really stick out in your mind, because I know that when my staff is feeling down, she's going to do something to lift them up. I know that if a child is having trouble transitioning to Robinson Middle School, like from elementary school, she's going to do what she can to make that transition better for them. She's just someone who's going to help everybody, not just people who are lucky enough to be in her class, but her colleagues and every student that she sees in this entire building. In the classroom, students say that she's kind, she's caring, but they also say she is commanding. And commanding is the word that I hear from them, which is interesting. That's a big word for students to use, but they probably learn it from her. Ms. Stewart has gone above and beyond. For years, she has sponsored a writing club, so students can come to her classroom every week, once a week, and write. They just write. But at the end of the year, she has a celebration or a reception, so that families can come and see what they've been writing. I am so glad that Ms. Stewart has been nominated and received this Distinguished Staff Award, because she gives so much of herself every single day. We've all received cards. I bet I've had a dozen cards, whether I've lost a family member or whatever's going on in my life. And she does that for the other staff too. She gives and gives and gives, and I like to see her receive and be acknowledged for what a great person she is.
When we went to surprise Miss Stewart with her award, she jumped up out of her chair and said, "The Publishers Clearinghouse," and I said, "No, it's even better."
I was also glad I washed my hair off.
This year's Distinguished Staff Honoree in the High School Educator category from Topeka High is Miss Kenya Patzer.
Kenya's one of those people, she's highly intellectual, but kind of a sneaky way. She has a very quirky sense of humor. She puts students first. She's collaborative with her peers. She's willing to share the things that work in her classroom with others. She's led professional development. She's a constant learner, so she's put herself back in school. She also comes from an educational family, but she has a unique perspective because she didn't go straight into education. So those experiences she had working out in the real world, she uses in the classroom with students. She's a passionate educator who truly wants the best for every student that comes into her classroom. Too often in education, we want to teach the way we were taught. She understands better than most that this generation learns extremely differently. Some learn traditionally, and she can meet both of those needs, and she knows how to grasp a student's interest. She knows how to challenge them appropriately, but then provide the supports that help them be successful. Kenya Patzer is someone who I know will be sitting and share some time someday, and the neat thing is she will take all the best she's done for her 150 or more kids each day in the classroom, and she'll pass it on to an entire climate and an entire school community, because she represents what it truly means to be an educator, because she puts the students first, and because along the way she helps everybody become better, whether it's a peer, a boss. She is engaged and willing to do anything. She has to learn to say no, and she doesn't say it very often if they're that we're blessed.
Our next honoree tonight in the office personnel category is Mr. Jerome Plunkett.
Mr. Plunkett is my brother from a different mother. We met some 25 years ago at an APSE conference, National Association of Black School Educators. We carpooled to Junction City together. And in that transportation, or in that ride, we were able to discuss a lot of things. Mr. Plunkett and I have been on many school activities. He was instrumental with me as we did the Black College Tour for 20 years. Mr. Plunkett has become a personal friend of mine inside the school as well as out. He's a proud person and very intelligent. He's one that will go that extra mile. He's a good friend to have. He's always there when you need him, and then when you don't need him, he's student friendly. He always finds ways that he could make some contribution not only to students, but to the school as a whole. And let me highlight one thing. There was half at half, a little thing that they do. The ROTC was doing a basketball game, whereas people will purchase a ticket and they call the number and you got whatever it was, you got that funds at halftime. He knew a kid that needed the money. His name was drawn. Called the kid down, and rather than him taking the money, he gave the money to the kid. That's the type of person he is.
If you enter the doors of Topeka High, Mr. Plunkett's smiling face will meet you at the reception desk when you go in there. This year, in the food service worker category from Topeka High as well, Mr. Richard Harry Smith.
You know, Richard's got a great smile. He's tall. He's like a big giant. He's like a big teddy bear. He will do anything for anybody. He's very compassionate. He's a good family man. And there's never been a time that I have not asked him or our office has asked him to do something where he has not said yes. He's very motivated, and we're great to have him as a manager as part of our food service department. Well, several months ago in the wintertime, we had a problem over at Topeka High. There was a problem with one of the boiler systems, and all our equipment in Topeka High in the cafeteria runs on gas. Richard was able to, and his staff was able to feed the 8 satellites along with Topeka High their full entire menu. Now keep in mind that's a hot item and a cold item for the satellite schools, and then we have 8 items, entree items, that we feed for Topeka High. So he just stepped out of his box and handled it without no problem. I think Richard's deserving of this Distinguished Staff Award because he's awesome. He came from Jardine Middle School as a manager over there, and we had a promotion. We were able to promote him, and he just blossomed. He just bloomed. It was like a whole new Richard. And he works for our summer food program, and he's just an all-around great guy. I can't find anybody more deserving than Richard.
Some say we're brothers.
And our final honoree tonight for the 2019 Distinguished Staff Awards in the Operations and Maintenance Staff category from the Service Center, Ms. Carla Drake.
Carla goes above and beyond what she does. She will go on vacation, and then if she gets a phone call because textbooks are needed, then she will turn around and cancel her vacation and come back to work to meet those needs. She gets a phone call from a school that says, I can't find my textbooks, and she will turn around and jump in a van and go out there and physically look for the box, because she knows exactly what the box looked like when it went out, and she will locate it and hand it to the person and say, here you go, the missing textbooks are no more. Bring her Coca-Cola. You're going to come deal with her on a day-to-day basis. She loves Coca-Cola. Then you get on her good side, and then from there on, you're going to do just fine. Carla is very enthusiastic about her job. She loves what she does. She wants to always meet the customer needs. And with all that, she will ensure that your needs are met, even if she has to go out there and help to do that and meet those tasks. Carla is the whole person concept. She actually is an active member of the New Mount Zion Church. She works with the In-Reach Outreach program there. Along with that, she is a mother. She has a daughter, Katrina, that she's very proud of, her son, EJ, and she's constantly talking about her little granddaughter, Olivia. We love to share stories between our being grandparents, and she is a wonderful friend, and she is very compassionate in what she does. She's very sympathetic to all her friends and family, and that is why Carla is who she is.
She's got her Coke right there. Do you guys see that?
She does have Coke on her table, and I'm going to tell you a story that she doesn't even know that I know. I got a phone call from French Middle School. It said, Misty, were you supposed to order chairs for the Distinguished Staff Award? And I said, no, don't you have chairs in the cafeteria? Well, yeah, but we got a call from Carla Drake, and she wanted to make sure that there were chairs there for the Distinguished Staff Award. I said, yeah, I think we're good. And did she invite more than 200 people? Then we might have a problem.
She's going to invite her whole neighborhood.
That's good.
The granddaughter's name is Olive, not Olivia. I have a niece named Olivia, so I mixed the two of them. It's okay.
Before we get to the conclusion of tonight's awards, I do want to say to the honorees, the plaques that are sitting up here on the stage, we will get those to you before you leave tonight. That is yours to hang on to for the next year, and then we'll come get it back from you so we can add the next group of winners next year. So you'll get to take that with you when you leave here tonight. We do ask that you don't take the stands with you, but you can take the plaque. Also, if you would like to get pictures with your coworkers, your family, anything like that, the team will be around with cameras. We have the little thing set up over here. You can do that, or we can just come around wherever. So please just grab someone with a camera, and we'd be happy to do that for you. So, as we conclude the 2019 Distinguished Staff Awards, again, congratulations to all of this year's honorees. This is a great honor for each of you in a moment in your career that you will reflect on the impact that you have made on the students here in Topeka Public Schools and on the community as a whole. Please join me in one more round of applause for this year's winners.